Hello there, I'm Nicole Hanselman. I really appreciate you being here with me. Today I want to talk about suicide and police brutality. So if it's something that you reckon might traumatize you, I will understand if you don't watch any further. But it's a talk that I need to have. I'm not going to go deep into it. I'm not going to go into dramatic, graphic details. No, just something related to what is happening around the world right now. You know what? The world is being shaken to its core. There's a lot of turbulence at the moment. There's a great movement going on, not in the way it's being done, but the result would be what should have happened so many years ago. We really are saying enough of the injustice. We've had injustice after injustice after injustice. We've said enough is enough. We've discovered our voices. We're being courageous and putting a stand. We want to be clear on where we stand on this. I've tried to keep this platform safe for us so that we discuss, safely about everyday matters, everyday life matters, right? With, trying to avoid those details when it comes to politics, those fanatic religious beliefs. We're trying to avoid things that will possibly bring conflict. But we can't keep on avoiding such topics. We need to talk. That's where it starts from. It's necessary for us to start talking. So count this as that other voice added to the gospel of humanity. As I do that, I'm going to share my story, and a story that's really close to my heart. Because of the nature of the story and respect to the person's privacy, I won't go into the details of it, and I won't be naming names. So my story is that some years back, when my son was little, right, I'd gone through a tough year. The year had gave me so much, right? And I thought I could handle it. I still could handle it. Then what happens on top of that, like I say, I got involved in a road accident. This was a new car, a finance car. And there's this, it wasn't fatal or anything, but my son ended up with a broken, collarbone. But it just left me feeling so awful. I felt so bad. At that time, I was a new driver too, and I went on the motorway, and everybody was like, "Oh, don't go, don't go." And then you're thinking, "I can do this, I can do this." Then you end up going, and then what they predicted happens, and you're just like, "Oh." You just feel so bad. You feel stupid. You look at that boy of yours who's injured because of your stupidity, and you're thinking you could have been killed, and you're thinking, I passed my test. I was driving legally, and but it's just one of those things. So at this time, what do? I go to my GP. My GP recommends, first my GP recommends medication, which I decline. I'd say, I look at myself, I tell myself, no, I don't think medication is what I need for myself. And at that time, I'd seen somebody who was using the medication, and I thought, I don't know, I don't think this is what I want for myself. So I did say that, you know what, let me try it another way. If it doesn't work, then I'll go for the medication. So the GP diagnosed me as having low moles, which feels like, it's kind of like one step from being depressed. So I could choose not to take the medication, you see. And then the GP also recommended me to, be in groups, be with around people, do such things. So I did get my 6 weeks of work, and imagine telling your workmates that your employer, that you have 6 weeks off. Your workmates are thinking, "Oh, you're always happy, joyous and stuff. You're always happy. How can you be of low moods and get 6?" People are not believing it. They're just thinking you're taking a pee. And that's what happened to me. And then now this other story is of a person who didn't have that kind of infrastructure. This happened to me in England, and this other person, that story happened in Kenya, my place of birth. So they were going through a very hard time. They became suicidal, right? And when they tried to commit suicide, police got called out. When the police came, they don't know all this about talking. No. They found that commotion, somebody who really wants to take their life. They're like, "Oh no, you want to end this, I want to end it." And they beat him up good and caused a permanent damage to death to this person. And this person had to go through court because it's illegal in Kenya to commit suicide, try and commit suicide. So they had to go through all this on top of what they were going through. There was nothing, no help like, oh, this is a mental institution. After that, then no, there was no such thing. He was dealt with brutally in his most vulnerable time. And that's why I'm just thinking, you know what? We can't keep on stigmatizing some topics. We can't keep on avoiding talking about some topics. We need to talk about some topics. Brendan said victory is not in avoidance. And that's why I've decided, let me speak up and say my stand. And what I'm hoping that we get from these stories and these experiences, first, if you really need help, if you're going through a hard time, don't let yourself go deeper. Don't just let yourself go deeper. It's really hard to pull yourself back up. So what I want us to learn from this story right now today is I do hope you find clarity in regards to what you should truly think about these issues, police brutality and suicide. There's so much information overload that might not help online, so it will just drive you crazier and crazier. So be careful about that, right? And then also, number two, whatever you do, endeavor to improve your behavior, your relationship, and contribution in the community you serve. And number three, demonstrate patience, passion to people around you, especially those people you don't know and have different opinions from you. Try and understand them, just listen to their side of the story, really. And then number four, learn more about others and observe your own mind. It's a good start and it's a necessary one. Just consider making sure you're of strong mental health to be able to help people around you. After all, we can't give what we haven't got, right? So let's look into that. So today's discussion, should we make sure that our police system has mental awareness? Right, before they're put out there to deal with people, they should have gone to maybe even level 3 on mental awareness or something. I'll do a recommendation. Today's recommendation is Mizizi Africa. They have like a poem, Fake Smile. Watch it for yourself. It's on YouTube and decide for yourself. It will be helpful, and if you know anybody who could benefit from it, do recommend it to them. Thank you for today, and bye.